My Neighbor's Daughter, Part 2. Bisi and I continued our study sessions, and as time passed, she improved remarkably. She started scoring higher on tests, and the once mocking whispers of our classmates turned into shocked murmurs. No one had expected Bisi to rise above their cruel words, but she did. When the university entrance exams came, I was confident I would be admitted, but I worried for Bisi. She had worked so hard, and I wanted her to succeed just as much as I wanted it for myself. The day the admission list was released, I rushed to check my name. As expected, I was accepted. My heart pounded as I scanned through the list again, and then I saw it. Bisi Oluwadare. I couldn't contain my excitement. I sprinted to her house, breathless. When she opened the door, I could see the happiness in her eyes. "You did it, Bisi," I said, pulling her into a hug. She laughed, tears glistening in her eyes. "We did it, Sean." Our journey wasn't ending. It was only beginning. University life and first love. At university, Bisi and I remained close. We studied together, explored campus, and spent countless hours talking about life and our dreams. The bond we had formed in secondary school only grew stronger. One evening, after a long study session, we sat on the rooftop of her hostel, watching the sunset. The sky was painted in hues of orange and pink, casting a warm glow over her face. "Sean," she said softly, "thank you for believing in me when no one else did." I smiled. "You believed in yourself first, Bisi. I just helped you see it." She looked at me for a long moment, then reached for my hand. "I don't know what I would do without you." I didn't think. I just leaned in. This time she didn't pull away. Her lips met mine, soft and warm, sending a rush of emotions through me. That night, we became more than just friends. Bisi gave herself to me, trusting me completely. It was her first time, and I made sure to be gentle, to let her know she was safe with me. We lay in each other's arms afterward, whispering promises about the future. "I love you, Sean," she murmured. I kissed her forehead. "I love you too, Bisi. Always." A love lost. For a while, everything was perfect. We graduated, ready to take on the world together. I started making plans for our future, dreaming of the life we would build. But then, things changed. Bisi met someone else. His name was David, wealthy, charming, and from an influential family. He pursued her relentlessly, showering her with expensive gifts and promises of a luxurious life. At first, she dismissed him, but slowly, she began to change. The late-night calls stopped, the study dates became less frequent, and then, one evening, she called me over. "Sean, we need to talk," she said, her voice hesitant. I sat across from her, already feeling a tightness in my chest. "What is it?" She looked down, playing with the hem of her dress. "David asked me to marry him." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. "What?" She took a deep breath. "My parents think it's a good match. He can provide for me in ways I never imagined." I stared at her, disbelief washing over me. "Bisi, what about us? What about everything we've been through?" Tears welled in her eyes. "I love you, Sean, but love isn't always enough." I clenched my fists. "So you're choosing him? After everything?" She sobbed. "I don't want to hurt you, but I have to do what's best for my future." I stood up, my heart shattering into pieces. "I was your future, Bisi." But she had already made her choice. Regret and pain. Bisi married David in a grand wedding, the kind that made headlines. I didn't attend. I couldn't. For a while, I tried to move on, burying myself in work, in other relationships, but nothing felt the same. She was the love of my life, and she had walked away. Years passed. One evening, my phone rang. It was Bisi. "Sean," her voice was weak, broken. I closed my eyes. "Bisi, I made a mistake," she whispered. "Leaving you was the worst decision of my life." A lump formed in my throat. "Then why did you do it?" She sobbed. David isn't who I thought he was. He doesn't love me. Not the way you did. Pain filled my chest. I waited for you, Bisi. I would have given you everything. I don't expect you to forgive me, she said. I just needed you to know. I sighed, running a hand through my hair. I loved you, Bisi, but some things can't be undone. As I hung up, I realized something painful. Sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes the right person comes at the wrong time, and no matter how much you want to hold on, life has other plans.